Hello, adventurers, and welcome to ID&Dias. This is the first video going up onto this channel, the ID&Dias channel, for a very good reason. This is talking about phrases you might hear in Dungeons & Dragons. So, let's get started with some basics. We'll start off easy. RPG or Tabletop RPG. RPG stands for role-playing game, and Tabletop RPG is just a role-playing game in which you play on top of a table, so Dungeons & Dragons is a Tabletop RPG. Alright, D&D or DND. These both mean the same thing, Dungeons & Dragons. It's just a shorthand. You pretty much type D&D when you don't want to reach for the ampersand, or if you're in something that doesn't allow special characters, such as the ampersand. Session. I use this all the time because it's a great word to describe what it is. A D&D session, or Dungeons & Dragons session, is 1 day of play, and that typically means an hour or more. So yeah. DM. That stands for Dungeon Master, or in other games you can call them GMs, which is Game Master, and they just run the game. Players. Players are everybody who plays Dungeons & Dragons who isn't the Dungeon Master. A one-shot. A one-shot is a adventure that can be played through in one session. So it's a one-shot. Campaign. A campaign is a group of adventures all tangled together, typically written by the DM, or he can buy a pre-written adventure, and he runs that campaign. Typically, they run for quite a while. NPC, non-player character. It's pretty self-explanatory. Alright, so that wasn't so bad, was it? Okay, let's get on to some stuff you might hear during a session of D&D. Let's start with dice. 1d4. It's a 1 4-sided die. 1d6, 1 6-sided die. 1d8 is 1 8-sided die. Now this one's interesting. 1d10. It's a 1 10-sided die. But there are two versions of a d10. One is a percentile die, which has 2 digits on each of the faces. It's 0, 0 through 90. But it counts by tens. So 0, 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, and that is the end. You roll these with each other, typically. So you typically roll the percentile die with the other d10 to calculate 100s, basically. So, if you want to roll a d100, you're not like, oh, I need to go buy a d100. Most dice sets have this percentile die and then the normal d10. You just roll them together. A 0, 0 and a 0 on the normal one and the double one is 100. And a 0 on the normal d10 with 1 digit on each face is a 10. And so the double-digit ones is the tens place, and the other is the ones place. So, once you get that down, it's pretty easy. 1d12, one 12-sided die. A d20 is the big guns. It's used all the time. It's 1 20-sided die, and then 2 d20s means 2 20-sided dice. So, the number in front of the d is how many dice you roll. The D stands for die or dice, and the number after the D stands for how many sides that dice has. Okay, enough about dice. Here are a few more phrases you'll probably hear. Modifiers. Modifiers are anything you add or subtract from a roll, including, but not limited to, the D20. AC. This is your armor class. This is how hard something has to strike, or rather how high they have to roll on a d20 to hit you, or you have to hit something else. DC. This stands for difficulty class. It's how much you need to roll to do something. HP, this stands for hit points, it's your health. A check is when you roll a d20 for a skill. Now, a saving throw is slightly different. It uses your abilities. So, for example, your dexterity, constitution, intelligence, wisdom, charisma, and your proficiency bonus if you're proficient in that saving throw, but you use those to add to a saving throw, and they're typically done when you're about to be harmed and you can dodge, or something similar. Dex. I say this all the time when I DM or even play. It's just short for dexterity. Proficiency bonus. Proficiency bonus is something you add to a roll of the d20 if you are proficient in it. And you will know if you're proficient in it. And if you're not sure, ask your DM or leave it down in the comments. Okay, that is all I have. There are more, but if you have questions, leave them in the comments or ask your DM or GM, and they will probably be happy to tell you. If not, ask me and I will respond to your comment. If I don't know, I don't know. Google it. Alright, thank you all so much for watching. I will see you all next time. Goodbye.